Hi guys, today I wanted to do a kind of comparison video. As you may or may not know, I actually picked up the Too Faced Natural Eye yesterday while I was out shopping, and I didn't get it for a really long time because I already had the Naked palette, so I thought, oh, I don't really need it, but for the longest time I've really wanted it. I'll show you, I did an eye look with it today. This is how it turned out. I really like it. I'll go through and tell you what I did on my eyes later on. I didn't film a tutorial for this look today because I've only had it since yesterday, and so I'm going to play around with it this week and come up with a really cool look and perhaps film one on the weekend, next weekend. So yeah, I really wanted to do a comparison because, I don't know, I've looked at some of the comparisons they've got and I don't agree with all of them, so I wanted to put my 2 cents on what I thought about the two. I'll start off with the price. This one retails in England for around 26 and this one's around 40 something. So there is quite a big price difference. However, this one has got, hang on, let's work it out, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, this one's got 12 eyeshadows, and this one has only got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and this one's only got 9 eyeshadows, so you're getting 3 more eyeshadows with this. So yeah, I really wanted to let you know what I thought about the two, because okay, so a lot of videos that I've seen which are comparing the eyeshadows don't go into that much depth about the actual colours and their similarities. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm one of those people that if I find eyeshadow that's similar, I'll be honest and say if it's a dupe or not. To me, a dupe is something that looks identical, like on the skin, on the eye, whatever, it looks the same. I'm not one of those people that look at a colour and go, oh, that's really similar. No, because there's a difference. Similar, you could have 2 of and that's fine because one's similar to the other. You could have 2 greys in your collection. Doesn't mean they're exactly the same. But if it's exactly the same, then I will say it's a dupe. So that when I looked at my Naked palette, which looks like this, in case anyone hasn't seen it, and the Too Faced Eye, which looks like this. Hang on. Looks like this. The first, and the only colours I guess, which I thought, oh, they're going to be exactly the same, were from the Too Faced is called Silk Teddy, and from the Naked it's called Sin, and they're both champagne-y colours. So I'm going to do a swatch. So this one is Silk Teddy, and this one is from the Too Faced palette, and I will put that on my hand so you can see. And this one is Sin from the Naked palette. And I'm going to do a swatch on my hand. Now, how well this is going to pick up, I don't know. These are not a dupe at all. They don't look the same to me. They're different enough for me to own both. The Too Faced one, which is this one, is more, how can I, it's lighter for a start. It's more peach, whereas Sin is more pink. It's more reflective than Sin. You're going to get more of a reflective look. So these two are definitely not dupe. So that was what I first thought when I picked up the palette. I thought, oh no, I'm going to have another Sin. But I don't. The next colour which I looked at and thought, oh, that's going to be a complete dupe, is Push Up from Too Faced, which is like a nice warm bronzy pink toned brown, rosy brown. And Toasted, which is from the Naked palette, which looks like this. Again, completely different. This is the one from Too Faced and this is the one from the Naked palette. The Too Faced one reads more orangey and the Naked palette one reads more purpley. So definitely they're not dupes either. Let's take that off my hand. And then the last one, which I thought was really, really similar, and probably the only one that is quite similar, is Honey Pot, which is from Too Faced, which looks like this. Put it on my hand. And Half Baked, which is from the Naked palette, which is my favourite colour, which looks like this. Again, they're not really identical. The Too Faced one reads more orange. I would say it would compare more to Baked, not Half Baked, from Urban Decay, whereas the Urban Decay one pulls more bronze, if that makes sense. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but in real life they're not the same. I mean, don't get me wrong, all of those three colours which I showed you are similar. They're in the same colour family, but they're not identical dupes. So what I'm trying to say is I'm glad I picked up this palette because there's not that many similar colours, shall we say, because the Naked palette doesn't have this matte cream. There's this really glittery shimmery colour which is really nice. This is the one that looked like Baked, this is the one that looked like Toasted, and this is the one that I compared to Sin. But in here also you've got some really nice dark browns which are really nice, so I do really like this one. However, the Naked palette I absolutely love. You've got a wide range of colours, so you've got like evening ones, daytime appropriate, really nice light ones, and I absolutely love the matte browns in here. I use those all the time. So I mean, if someone was to ask me which sort of which palette to go for, I'm not quite sure what I would say. I would probably say if you had the money, invest in this one because there's a lot more shadows, but if you don't have the money, this is a really good alternative because the colours in there are really kind of nice and you could get quite a few nice looks out of this. And what I'll quickly do is show you what colours I have on today. So I'll come in and just show you my eye look one more time. So it looks like this. On the inner half of my eye, I've got this colour here, which is called Nude Beach. It's like a really shimmery, kind of champagne-y colour. Then on the outer half of my lid, I've got what's it called? Silk Teddy, which is that really reflective colour, and I love that one. It's probably my favourite one out of the whole palette. In my crease, I've got Cocoa Puff, which is a really kind of dark, warm chocolate brown, which I love, with gold flecks in. And under my eye, I've got a little bit of Push Up, which is the one that I compared to Toasted, which is a really nice kind of rosy tinted bronze colour. So I do really like this palette. I've only had it for a day, so I'll play around with it and let you know what I think. But I do think it's quite comparable to the Naked palette, and I'm glad I've got both. If you could have both, that is the way to go, because I think they're both good in their sort of own way, really. I love them both, and they're both quite compact. Now the packaging's changed, it's quite thin, so I mean, the Naked palette wins by being a little bit thinner, but obviously it's longer, so I do really like that. The only thing that annoys me about these, and I don't know if it annoys anyone else, is that all the eyeshadows aren't the same size, because I might not necessarily want to use these three more than the rest. Quite luckily, at least these two, the Silk Teddy and the Matte White, I probably will use loads because they're the sort of colours I do like, but I think it would be nice to have given the same size for everything. Now, really quickly, before I go, I wanted to just show people the Naked 2 palette compared to the Naked Eye palette, which looks like this, because I have both of these as well, and I was thinking to see if they were both quite similar, but I wanted to show you that they're actually not at all, really. So this is what they look like. In comparison, the Too Faced Naked Eye palette has got mostly sort of grey colours and then a few pinky colours, but mostly kind of greys. Whereas the Naked 2 palette has got quite a lot of browns and coppery tones. So these two palettes are nothing alike, so you could definitely have both of these. And I just wanted to say that in case anyone was wondering if there's any other dupes. And so far I haven't found any good dupes for this palette, so I'll keep looking out and I'll see what I can find. But the last thing I wanted to say while I was on here, I was talking to a good friend of mine here on YouTube about this last night. But just to let you guys know what I think, which one I would choose. Out of these two, I love both. I'm glad I have both. I love neutral eyeshadows, but unfortunately, I have to say this one wins. And if I had to only recommend one to all you guys, I'd recommend this one, because this is the one I reach for the most still. So yeah, I just want to throw it out there. Not that I don't love both. I love both. I'm glad I have both. But if I had to only choose one, I would choose this one. Or if I was going on holiday and I can only take one, I would take this one. I prefer the packaging. It feels nicer. I know a lot of people think it collects dust, which it does, but it feels more luxurious. I love the way it folds over. It closes, whereas this one is a bit, I don't know. I'm not such a big fan on the packaging of this one, and the eyeshadows don't suit me quite as well as these ones do. But anyway guys, that is it for my comparison with Too Faced and Urban Decay. I will have to be honest and say that swatching wise and on the eye, I do slightly prefer the pigmentation of the Too Faced ones, I'm not going to lie. But that's not to say, I mean, with the Too Faced one, this shadow here, which is what I used on the inner corner, which is quite glittery, is definitely not as pigmented as any in the Naked palette at all. But the colours in here, like Silk Teddy, for example, or any of the browns, are more pigmented than some of the Urban Decay ones. So it's kind of like anything. Some of them are brilliant, some of them are not so good. So I would highly recommend both brands. Urban Decay has been a love of mine for years. I pretty much have all of their palettes because I love them. Too Faced is quickly becoming a favourite. I have these two palettes and I have the Romantic Eye palette. I've got my eye on the Summer palette, which came out, but it hasn't come out here in the UK yet, so I'll possibly pick up that one. But anyway, I don't want to keep rambling on. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please comment, rate, subscribe. I'll leave my Twitter around here somewhere. And next weekend I'll have a tutorial using that palette in case anybody has it. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So thanks for watching guys. See you soon. Bye. Mwah.